whole timeline is quite long-winded. And I suppose what then becomes a question, on a lot of people's minds is, so do we not take the content of this report at face value? How forensic is the content of the Public Protector's report, especially when, for instance, lawyers for the Guptas and indeed some members of the ESCOM board are already saying, well, no, actually we did things the right way, she didn't speak to so and so and so and so, and she herself has passed on the baton to Chief Justice.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? That people are saying that when the public is interpreting this report, is that it really is it's not conclusive findings at all about any of the things that have taken place, but it is saying that there is a strong evidentiary basis for there to be further investigation here. And I think that this is where the legal and the political roads diverge, right? Because legally and the legal processes, the wheels of justice turn slowly, and legal processes have to be deliberative, they have to be thorough. You use the term forensic. They have to really be thorough processes in order to remain legitimate and to maintain their legitimacy, and to really not just for justice to be done, but for justice to be seen to be done. And I think that we must anticipate that legal process is not going to be a short one. It can't be a brief legal process if we want this to be fully investigated correctly and legitimately.
Yes.
And so that's the legal part now that is going to take its course. I think politically now, as South Africans, as all the various political parties, the governing party, the ANC, needs to consider whether these are some very damning allegations that have been placed against the president. The evidence that has been uncovered that has come from the public protector in this report is pretty startling about just the murkiness of some of the relationships between the executive and the Gupta family itself and its companies. And also some real question marks about subverting the legal and administrative and regulatory processes that we have as a state. Now, the political question that then comes from that is to say, do we then want the current president of the Republic to continue being the president of the Republic with the constitutional law powers that are granted to him, in light of what seems to be some really messy, concerning relationships that have broken, that raise questions about whether laws have been broken, yes, or whether regulations have been flouted. You see what I mean? So,
yes.
So I think that we must be careful as people and as observers and as the public to not conflate the legal issues with the political issues, right? Where legally there's a whole process that needs to take place. But in terms of who you believe should be, the kind of leadership that we want as a country in general, the kind of our requirements for the integrity of the people that lead us, do we still have confidence, yes, in the incumbent to continue leading the country through this, or do we think that somebody else should take over?